Welcome back to the mat for another fusion class. You are going to need a foam roller, a Pilates ball, and at least one set of dumbbells. I grabbed a heavier set just because I am feeling strong and want to go a little bit heavier today, but you could always use a light to medium set instead. If you don't have any of this equipment, no worries at all. You can improvise. You can do all of it with body weight if needed. All right, we're going to start here. Sits bones rooted on the mat, hands to the rib cage. Inhale to fill up. Exhale through nose or mouth. Take one more breath to refocus. Recenter. Lovely. Grab your ball. Bring it with you to the bottom of the mat. Zip your inner thighs, feet, legs all the way together. Sitting up tall, arms reach forward. Big inhale. Sit tall. Exhale. Roll back bone by bone all the way back to the mat. Arms will come up by the ears without popping our lower back up off of the mat. Exhale to curl all the way up, chin to chest, rolling, rolling, rolling to the top, and then you take it back. As always, if this is a little bit too intense for your abdominal wall, especially if you're postpartum or pregnant, just make sure that you take a modification instead. So you can always lose the ball or place it in between your thighs. Maybe place your feet down on the mat firmly and take it into a chest lift instead, using the upper body to support you here. We're going to go for just a couple more. Once you're at the top, go ahead and grab that ball in your hands. Bring the right knee up to the chest, left leg hovers off the mat, roll back down. You find two pulls and presses, and then you switch to the other side. So this is a single leg stretch or pull. You're using the abdominal wall to find a crunch, and you're pressing the ball into the tops of the thighs. Last two, last one. Rest the head for just a moment. Bring the feet down. Press the ball into the tops of the thighs. Right hand holds onto the ball. Left hand comes behind the head. It's a chest lift with a twist through the obliques. Exhale to twist, lifting the chest. Inhale the lower back down. Just one more this way. Switch sides. Twisting up over the left shoulder now. Just a couple more. Now you can do one more set of that, or you can bring the ball to the thighs, bring the legs up with you. Your elbows will come to the ball, curl the chin to the chest. You open over the right shoulder back through, and then twist to the left. So alternating arm and leg here for crisscross. Really fighting through the abs to lift the upper back up off of the mat. Lower back definitely wants to stay down on the mat. Two more. Last two. Last one. Oh, hello. All right, one more roll up. Holding that ball in between the hands here. We take a big exhale to roll all the way up to that seated position. When you are at the top, go ahead and set the ball off to the side. We're going to pivot all the way around to come into a plank position here. Hands will come right underneath the shoulders. You can be up on the toes. You can stay back on the knees. Just make sure that we're not on all fours in a cat-cow position, but that your weight is forward. From here, we bend and we press. Keep going. If you've got to drop down, that's okay. There's 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Take it back to a quick child's pose. Sit up. And we're going to go ahead and reach for weights now. I'm going to go for my heavier set. You're more than welcome to, again, stay with that lighter set here. Feet come hip width apart, parallel, flat on the mat. Right now, I'm just pressing the heads of the weights down into the mat, opening up through the chest. Exhale to drive the hips up with a flat back. Inhale to lower back down. You're going to put that on repeat here. Trying to get our hips nice and high. Recruiting the glutes, recruiting the core. As the hips lower down, take it into a bicep curl. Hands come up to the shoulders, hands come back down, hips go up. So it's a 4-part combo. Lower, curl, tap, and lift. One of the big focuses of our practice today is your arms, getting into biceps. So we're going to give them lots of love so that you can have all of that beautiful muscle definition. Two more like this. Last one. Hold the hips up. From here, we lower the hips down one more time. We lift the arms all the way up to the ceiling, and then you have the option to come back up into that glute bridge if you can find good stability here. We bend both arms and extend for skull crushers, getting into the triceps here. Like I said, really focusing on the arms today. Spread all 10 toes out on the mat. You got 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Hips come down, arms come down. We make our way all the way up, right? Hanging on to those weights, you're going to come to a high kneeling position on the mat. Hinge forward from the waist here. So my seat is coming towards my heels, but I'm not all the way back. My back is nice and flat. We take it into reverse hug a tree, also known as reverse flies. Getting into the back of the shoulders here, strengthening your back muscles. Try to stop where you can still see the weights in your peripheral vision. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh. Shake it out. All right, we're making our way all the way down onto the right side of the body. Next, you can lose one weight. If you're using lighter weights though, you might want to keep both of them if you can safely hold both in one hand. We're going to bring that weight to the outside of the left thigh. We're sitting up tall through our right side, pulling up out of our right shoulder and pressing our right hand down to the mat. We open the knee up to the ceiling. We lower back down. We're trying to keep that left hip stacked over the right though. So instead of rolling back and twisting through the spine, think really long neutral spine the whole time. Lengthening from crown of head to tailbone and letting the hip do the work here. Inner and outer thighs are also doing a lot of work and taking a lot of that heat. You've got a few more. There's 2. There is 1. Excellent. We're going to set that weight down. We're going to stay in this kneeling position with your knees stacked. Left hand will come underneath your rib cage here. Take a gentle twist. And then we open up, left leg and left arm reach up, and they come back down. Now, I'm about to hit a wall, so my left leg is not able to extend all the way, but if you have the space for it, you are more than welcome to send your leg all the way straight as you come up. That's just going to give you a little bit more challenge for your core. If it's too intense, you can keep the knee bent and just lift it up. Ooh, hello side body. There's 2. Last one. Beautiful. One last thing before we switch sides. Sit up, grab your roller. If you don't have a roller, you could also just use a towel here to slide along your mat. Left arm will come out to the side. Right leg is in front of you at 90 degrees. Left leg is out from the hip or slightly behind. Inhale, sit tall. Take a big dip up and over. Exhale to return. This is your mermaid. Stretching the sides of the body. Try to pull your left hip down, down, down to the mat in opposition here. Last one this side. Beautiful. All right, roller goes back away. We'll see it for that second round of mermaids. We're gonna grab just one of those weights again, or both if you did both on the first side. And again, we take it open and close, lifting up out of the left side this time. Right inner thigh and hip is doing the work here. Chin is off of the chest. Trying to give your upper body just a little bit of time to relax before we hit it hard for our finisher. Last 2. Last one. Good. Again, the weight goes down. We stay with our knees stacked. Right arm reaches under. We lift up. We lower down. So now I can actually demonstrate that for you. The right leg extends long underneath you. But as always, you can keep it bent if needed. Let's go for 4 more this side. There's 4. There's 3. Hello, left obliques. Last 2. And last 1. Good. Again, we sit up. We grab our roller. Underneath the left hand it goes. Left knee out in front, right leg out. Inhale to take it up and over. Exhale to stand back up. If you got confused with which leg goes in front, that's my job security right there. So don't even worry about it. We'll go for just a few more here. Really think about lifting up out of the obliques, rooting the right hip down. Last one. Amazing. All right, moving back into upper body work. We come to a low kneeling position. If this is not comfortable for you, you could come to high kneeling. You could also stand all the way up on your mat, so you have options. And then from here, we're gonna bring those weights up to 90 degrees. We open them out to the sides, so we're slightly on an angle here. We curl up, we lower down. You put that on repeat. So wide bicep curls, just hitting the biceps in a slightly different way from your normal curl. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here is 1. Come all the way up to a high kneeling position. We bring the right arm up and over to the left shoulder, lower back down, switch to the other side. These are called crossbody bicep curls. So again, we're playing around with, we're still working the biceps, but in a different fun, creative way. It also really forces you to stabilize through your side body, which we just worked a ton, so that can be really, really challenging. From here, take that right hand all the way up to the right shoulder and back down. That is your crescent curl. Working a little bit more through stabilizing through the shoulders. Last 2 each way. One more full set. Excellent, you guys. All right, weights come down. You can switch out for lighter weights if you're already using those light weights. Awesome. Come back to low kneeling. Again, we're opening out into those wide curls. We curl, we lower, we reach out to the sides and come back in. So it's a nice wide cervical here. Getting a little bit more into the shoulders. Oh. Let's go for 4 more. Here's 4. Here's 3. Last 2. And last 1. Set those weights down. Grab your roller again. Bring it to one edge of the mat. Make your way onto your hands and your knees. So on all fours here, your feet are gonna rest over that roller. From here, we squeeze to lift the knees up off of the mat. We lower back down. Bear hovers. If this is intense enough, this might be all that you do today. If you're ready to progress it further, hold it up, extend the legs behind you, bend the knees in. You put that on repeat. If you're starting to feel a lot of pressure in the shoulders, you can always drop down to your forearms here. This is our cardio finisher. My heart rate is getting lifted. My blood is pumping. Hold the legs straight. You try to pike the hips up. You lower back down. If this does not feel safe with a roller, you can ditch the roller. You can move on the mat instead, shifting hips up and back, shifting them forward. Let's go for 3. Last 2. Last 1. Awesome. Bend the knees. Kick that roller away. Take it into a nice child's pose. From here, we come all the way upright. Bring your left foot forward, right leg behind. Shift the weight forward, pulling your right hip forward here. Holding for a stretch through the hip flexor. From here, you shift the weight back. Flex your left foot in front of you and hold for a hamstring and calf stretch. Bend the knee underneath, switch to the other side. And again, you shift the hip back, flex your front foot, hold for that beautiful back of leg stretch. Lastly, stay up in that high kneeling position. Clasp your hands behind your back. Open up through the front side of the body. Maybe even send your chest, your chin upward to the sky. Carefully release and give yourself a big round of applause. I will see you next time on the mat.